You look at this top 10 and you think it's tough to find teams that you don't think will finish in the top 10, but history says it's going to happen somewhere.
The weatherman still gets a paycheck, and he's about the same.
Right.
Yeah, I just found out that 50% doesn't mean you have a 50% chance of raining. That means raining on 50% of the area. So there you go on that. Meteorologists, they've got it made in the shade. A lot of them from Florida State too.
The other thing, if you know anything about the jobs of these sports writers, is, and all credit to them, they're doing their job. But if you are a sports writer at the Clarion Ledger in Jackson, Mississippi, and you're assigned to Ole Miss football, you live and breathe and die Ole Miss. That's all you're doing all the time, is covering Ole Miss football. I remember I used to rub shoulders with these guys every day for 7 years when I was a sports director at a CBS station. And that's what they do. They don't know. They have no idea who most of the starting quarterbacks or the personnel are for these teams. They regurgitate what they've been hearing all off season, is what they do.
Yeah, that's the most infuriating part of it. You know, perception is reality, and it's like, who gets to decide? Luckily, more and more, you know, I call it the new era media. You know, guys like you and people with their own platforms getting bigger and bigger. It's like getting a little bit closer. It seems like to me, the kind of narratives out there. But like you said, it's people are looking out for number one, especially when it's your sports, you know, your SID or your coach that's putting these reports in for these polls. Was it Kirby Smart that had us ranked like 19th or something at the end of the year, or didn't even have us in the poll, like some ridiculous thing because we're recruiting Georgia so heavy? It's like, come on.
If you want to find out how much sports media, and I'm not talking about the size shows that we have. I'm not talking about the Noel Game Day, the Spear Addicts, the Mark Rogers, the Renegade Report. I'm talking about Fox. I'm talking about ESPN. I'm talking about all the big ones. If you want to find out how much they really don't know, go watch the new Johnny Manziel documentary, and you'll find out exactly what it is that they don't know, because it shows you how Johnny Manziel and his partner controlled the media like it was their first job. Like all they had to do was wake up and say, this is what's happening. And then everyone reported it that way. And that's it. To me, it's hilarious because you think that they have all these resources. They have all of the, there's only one Adam Shaver, I think is how his name's pronounced in the NFL, that knows when people are, you know, getting traded or whatever. He's the only one that I personally think has real legitimate resources, because all the other ones, they are just reporting based off of what 900 other people said, and they give an opinion on it. You're excited to watch ESPN to hear someone else's opinion, which 90% of anything that's being talked about is an opinion. But at least when you go to these smaller outlets like us and some others that cover other teams, you're actually talking to people that actually talk to, whether it be the athletic director, because we have the time to. Our whole job is subsidized down to a smaller box of, we only want to cover these people, but to the best of our ability. So we actually get to talk to all of these people, and we can actually give you correct information. To whereas if it makes national, they're just going based off of what the other 850 other people said.
I was in control rooms at ESPN for 15 years, every day for 15 years. And not that there aren't extremely intelligent people, hardworking people doing a great job, the people on air. Yeah, a lot of them don't know what they're talking about. And you need to realize that when they have all the answers and all the stats, you have to realize that there is a producer in their ear all the time. And if Jordan Travis just threw the game-winning touchdown pass against Florida, and then he's on Sports Center right after, that producer's going, Jordan Travis, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions this season. So the anchor can go, Jordan, you've just completed an amazing season, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. They don't know. They sometimes have to pronounce the name of the player to say, this is the pronunciation on the player, in their ear.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no doubt. It's like once you get to a certain level, it's like, my goodness, you were watching Stephen A. Smith. I think he went on one time for like 20 minutes about a guy who was injured for the whole year. He wasn't even playing ball.
I do remember that. I was at ESPN, and all hell broke loose, and there were all sorts of things coming down because there was an NFL game that night, and he went on and on about players that had been out the whole season. And
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Nobody can know the NBA and the NFL and boxing and all this stuff and know it well. It's just not happening.
It's what I don't want to ruin the name, but the Japanese guy, Matt's. I'm not going to mess it up, but that's basically what he says. Like, whatever you're going to do something, like work hard, do something that's difficult, but it's got to be specialized. Like master something and then move on to the next thing. There's no way you can have a hand in a million different fires and be proficient at it. Like you said, be able to know which player played each game from 3 different leagues. You just can't do it.